The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, I'm Maricela Kelaton with Friday's news. In this edition, Lay keeps environment clean while making money. Road reconnects rural lives. And cutters look to upset the berries on home soil. Hela province will now have a resident judge in Tari following the welcome and installation of the judge today in Tari town. Prime Minister James Marape, who is also the local member for Tari Pori, was at hand to formally welcome the Justice Andrew Costopoulos, who will be the first resident judge of Hela province. Governor Philip Undialu, in welcoming the judge, also thanked the Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika and his Deputy Justice Ambeng Kandakasi for their leadership in supporting the law and justice sector in Tari and Hela. Governor Undialu presented a vehicle and handed the keys to the official residence of the judge. To keep their environment clean and earn money at the same time. This is now possible after Coca-Cola, in partnership with Lay-based company Brandis Recycling, launched its PET plastic bottle collection and recycling scheme at Limki this week.
Instead of throwing empty polyethylene terephthalate or plastic bottles away, residents in Lay now have the chance to earn money by taking them to Brandis Recycling Limited's premises at Limki Speedway for recycling. You will earn 1 kina for every kilo of empty plastic drink bottles, and not just Coca-Cola products that are returned to either Brandis Recycling at Limki or Karimata Street along Aircorp Road, where the Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners PNG Limited head office is. Speaking at the launch of the Lay PET collection program on Wednesday, May 21st, CCEP PNG Commercial Director Tim Solly said this is an expansion of the PET collection and recycling scheme that was launched in Port Moresby in May 2023.
We're a proud manufacturer here in PNG, and with that comes responsibility. And we know that we are responsible to find solutions for the bottles that we produce and that ultimately go back into the environment. Because the last thing we want is to see those bottles in the environment and in the beautiful, pristine waterways of Papua New Guinea.
The PET granulator, sometimes referred to as a crusher, will cut the plastic bottles into small pieces or PET flakes, which will then be sent offshore for further recycling. Solly said from the over 600 tons of PET waste in Port Moresby, they have so far collected 26% of it. Coca-Cola ASEAN South Pacific Senior Director Sustainability, Dr. Casper Durant, said for the first time this year, the collection done in PNG will be included in the Coca-Cola Company Sustainability Report.
So the report will come out hopefully in the next month or so, and hopefully we'll see a name mentioned, no promises made, but we'll do our best. Then this project in Lay is evidence of a sustained effort, as I mentioned already. I think important point to make is that this project cannot work if value is not added to the project by the obligated industries. Coca-Cola is obligated, it has a good business, and it's putting in effort and money and resources behind this project. It's like pushing the wheelbarrow up the hill. If we don't push it, it will not go up the hill. PET bottles do not collect themselves. They are not like aluminium. The end-use value is too low for organic, natural recycling rate, and we saw the evidence of that.
Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
Early this month, 29 volunteers embarked on a medical mission trip to Papua New Guinea. They arrived in Port Moresby carrying with them 1,000 kilograms of supplies. The team consisted of medical personnel, a hospitality team, an educational team, and a maintenance team. On their first day, they settled in and prepared for the medical work that would begin the next day at Caritas Secondary School. They set up the clinic at the school's gymnasium. 200 people were already seated waiting to be served. The team treated around 170 patients. By the third day, they improved their system and managed 250 patients. On the fourth day, the education team began cultural sessions with Caritas primary students, while the medical team treated 250 people. In 5 days, the team treated over 1,400 patients, made over 200 desks, built 10 library shelves, and completed electrical repairs at the primary school. Aranduk Primary School in the Sumka district of Medang Province had its new administration building commissioned last week by the member for Sumka, Alexander Suguman Ome. When commissioning the building, he appealed to the community to take ownership of the support given by the government in order to attract more support in the future.
Aranduk Primary School was established last year and is currently faced with many challenges, including school infrastructure. The building and commissioning of this administration building is a huge milestone for the new school. Member for Sumka, Alexander Ome, took the opportunity to explain the challenges East DDA faces in distributing resources fairly across the district.
Yes, me member, but me workman blow you, me 7 blow you. Work blow me long time base, long limited resources, limited funds me plagat, long make him spread him across, right across Sumkar district. Support him, you lilik man Mary long one main service where me put him and must benefit him plenty at once. Not at one side. Me DDA government even me to member. Me no work him anything on one side. No, it's no one side system, no favoritism system, no one dog system in this government.
The member, however, assured the school of his DDA's support, stressing the importance of human resource development in the district.
So me cut him ribbon and me talk finish. This is our new partnership. Me hold him hand now. We will stand behind you. Me by sana backside, na me by supporting you. Na me must work one plan new plan infrastructure development must come up along this school.
Dominic Thierry, a community leader in Aranduk, in highlighting the challenges faced by the school, pointed out that the school is yet to be registered formally with the Education Department and needs support from the DDA to do this. The school can only benefit from the government's fee-free education policy once it is registered. Ruth Rungola, TVWAN News.
Dinghies, sewing machines, rice mills and coffee machines were gifted to the people of Middle Ramu by the District Development Authority in an effort to equip and empower its people to be self-sufficient. The resources were commissioned by a local MP, Kansol Kandaru, under his campaign of bringing light to the people of Middle Ramu.
The presentation of dinghies, sewing machines, rice mills and coffee machines attracted a crowd of people. This is seemingly the first time such an initiative was undertaken. Local member Council Kamdaru is proud that his district is able to produce various cash crops cultivated in the highlands to the lowlands. The challenge for years is the expense involved in transporting cash crops to various markets.
S3 pe mi stop long place where location where mi play no na long bring him through all material. I'm now weta make him sample something the logistic make him. Mi look long chopa, mi look lo balu sontem, but more cost than mi gonna mi no na complete him project.
According to Middle Ramu's national census conducted in 2023, the population is recorded at over 116,600. The DDA is on the ground collecting data for various groups of people in each LLG. They plan to distribute the resources to rice and coffee farmers. Mothers are being counted as well, so sewing machines can be distributed to them for self-sustaining activities in the fabric industry. 6 dinghies are among the resources being distributed. They are meant to ease transport costs and ease the burden on East people's pockets.
Now, but me continue to give him a rice machine enough. You black some rice machine. Maybe I continue to give him all coffee palpa. Now you one you got all coffee. You plan him coffee. You got coffee device tablet, but me give him coffee machine long you so. But you kiss him now. You yet you must got coffee. Me don't have give him a group. But me give him you one.
This initiative is captured in Middle Ramo's 5-year development plan, which was launched by the Prime Minister James Marape in Sangapi, Kovan LLG in May last year. The government-funded Bayamedang Road is also expected to improve travel and access to government services for the Middle Ramo people.
Remand long me long connect him. All people na risk him all come out long end. Whether when him way me make him, still ba me reach him Middle Ramo yet. At me promise long you blah.
The resources presented to the Middle Ramo people are 6 dinghies with outboard motors, 100 sewing machines, 20 rice mills, and 40 coffee machines. Ruth Rungula, TVWAN News.
A long-awaited road project in Papua New Guinea's West Sepik province is transforming the lives of thousands in remote coastal villages, reconnecting them to markets, schools and essential services after years of isolation.
After nearly a decade in isolation, more than 12,000 residents across 5 remote villages in Papua New Guinea's West Sepik province are finally reconnected to the outside world. Until recently, the only lifeline to the provincial capital, Vanimo, was a risky boat trip, costly, dangerous and often unavailable during rough seas. In June 2024, a 16.7-kilometer stretch of road between Rawo and Laitre was rebuilt under the EU Strait PNG program led by the International Labour Organization. 22 culverts, 2 slab crossings and 2 box bridges now ensure year-round access. For the first time in years, vehicles can move freely day or night. The cost of travel has dropped dramatically, with cocoa farmers saving up to 60 kina per trip. The road has revived the local cocoa industry. With support from the EU Strait program, fermentary units have been upgraded, increasing production and cash flow in the community. Beyond cocoa, vanilla and fish farmers are now reaching markets in Vanimo and even the Indonesian border, boosting income and regional trade. Women and youth are seizing new opportunities. Motorcycles have become popular, offering quicker access to farms, schools and health services. Employment has also grown. Locals are hired to maintain the road, including women and peasants with disabilities, fostering inclusion and dignity through decent jobs. What was once a forgotten stretch of coastline is now a corridor of opportunity. For the people of West Sepik, this road is more than infrastructure. It's a gateway to a brighter future. Ruth Rungula, TVWAN News.
This is TVWAN News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, da mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Open it.
says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Laga, Bunyamyumi.
Next match underway. He finds Johnston. Johnston with some room to move. Alex Johnston. He kicks it again. This should be a try. Alex Johnston did.
It's an unstoppable rush. Taking that extra mile. Pushing beyond the limit and making it happen. Fueling the passion for rugby and empowering the next generation. Feel the power.
They're chasing hard. The Panama Reels have got the first. Top of the moment, Hela on to Hopawadi.
Welcome back. The Intergovernmental Task Force on Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorism Financing has been issued a no-excuse directive to ensure PNG is not placed on the Financial Action Task Force grey list by October this year. Prime Minister Marape issued this firm warning during a high-level meeting in Port Moresby yesterday. The Intergovernmental Task Force is led by the Chief Secretary Ivan Pomaliu and comprises the Department of Justice and Attorney General, Bank of PNG, Royal PNG Constabulary, Department of Finance, Treasury, IRC and other key institutions. Marape said PNG has just 5 months remaining until the end of October and he will not accept any excuse for failure. In order to drive this, he has shifted the responsibility for coordinating efforts to the Treasurer, Ian Lynn Stuckey, with heads of relevant agencies to report directly to him moving forward. The Department of Lands and Physical Planning and the Central Provincial Government held a swearing-in ceremony for members of the Central Provincial Physical Planning Board today. The occasion affirmed the shared commitment to effective land governance and sustainable development for Central Province.
8 members of the Central Provincial Physical Planning Board were sworn in today. Edward Killer from the Provincial Administration leads the board as chairman. He is supported by Deputy Chairman Norman Ray, Provincial Lands Advisor Killa Bay, Provincial Police Commander Joseph Saleh, Emmanuel Asigao as the expert in physical planning matters, Andrew Magaiva representing sports, youth and women, Reverend Roger Joseph representing churches, and community leader Patrick Lauman.
Today is not just another formal ceremony. It is a defining moment for the future of land use and development planning in Central Province. It marks a new chapter in our province's journey towards inclusive, orderly, and sustainable development.
Minister for Lands and Physical Planning and Urbanization and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso stated that the department often gets blamed for land issues in Central Province. He clarified that land allocation is done by the board. Minister Rosso advised that a good board with the right people will ensure efficiency.
Far too often, Lands Department gets blamed for issues relating to lands in Central Province. I'd like to clarify that Lands Department is here to support Central Province in achieving its ambitions, its obligations, and to protect its land. The Lands Department is here to facilitate and work in partnership with the Central Province people to ensure this happens.
The minister stressed on the Tuhava town investment and gave credit to landowners there for working together with the department in managing the land well and plan for the future. He hopes Central Province will take Tuhava as an example and progress in that manner.
You only have powers over alienated land. You only have powers over alienated land. But I am quite certain with the vision of a good governor and administrator, you'll be able to utilize those powers and assist in converting, working with the Lands Department and converting, utilizing and guiding Kashmir landowners to come forward to work with the provincial government, work with us in the national government, and to ensure that something like Tuhava happens in a lot of places in Central Province.
The Central Provincial Physical Planning Board was established in 2020 and expired in 2023. The term for these new board members ends May 2028. Jasmine Rajak, TV1 News.
Following the swearing-in of board members, the Department of Lands and Physical Planning and the Central Provincial Government signed a Memorandum of Understanding to affirm a shared commitment to effective land governance and sustainable development of Central Province.
Effective administration of the board and the smooth operation of the Physical Planning Office. In this MOU, there is a structure to be filled with qualified personnel to run the office and make sure boards are in operations. For collaboration with the Department of Lands and Physical Planning to Chief Physical Planners Office. DLPP recognizes that the success of this board depends on strong coordination between provincial and national offices.
Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, is in Osaka this week visiting Section PNG at the Expo site in Osaka, Japan. Section PNG is reportedly receiving many tourism and business inquiries. The Expo site in Osaka, Japan is crowded with visitors every day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., with 1/3 being foreigners and 2/3 from Japan. The Commissioner General of Section Papua New Guinea, Ambassador Gabriel Dusava, has reported to Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru on his visit to the Expo site this week. Ambassador Dusava and the officials on the ground reported that there were many inquiries from Japanese tourists who were overwhelmed by the beauty, scenery and the culture of Papua New Guinea. PNG's designated National Day during the Expo is on the 22nd of July. The program will include the Prime Minister attending the National Day in Osaka, then traveling to Tokyo in July 23rd to meet with the potential investors who want to invest in the country. Prime Minister Marape will host a reception in the evening of July 23rd, where he will meet with the key Japanese government officials and also meet with the Japanese private sector and development partners like Japan International Cooperation Agency and Japan Bank for International Cooperation. Minister Maru says the investment in PNG's participation at the World Expo is a strategic investment by the government to show support for Japan in their Expo year. Maru says the government is keen to deepen and broaden the relationship with Japan. Meanwhile, Minister Maru also visited the Australian Pavilion upon invitation from their Deputy Commissioner General, Ms. Lucy Ryan. One of the United Nations' most senior child rights envoys is set to visit Papua New Guinea for high-level talks amid rising concern over violence against children, historically low vaccination rates, and persistent malnutrition. Dr. Najat Malajid, the UN Special Representative of the Secretary-General on Violence Against Children, will arrive in Port Moresby on Sunday, the 25th of May, for a 5-day mission. This is her first official visit to Papua New Guinea and comes as the country steps up its role as a pathfinder under the Global Partnership to End Violence Against Children, which it joined in 2021. Dr. Jade is expected to meet with Prime Minister James Marape, governors, senior ministers, parliamentarians, civil society groups, youth representatives, and members of the justice sector. The mission will also include consultations with young people, civil society actors, faith-based organizations, and frontline child protection practitioners. We now have the finance news. The Kina closed unchanged at $0.2441 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2366 $0.3665 Australian dollars, 0.2018 euro, and 33.66 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all commodities closed lower, except copra, which closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans, expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend, PNG's own coffee.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing, bum bum.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. One Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Cold Pal Lemon is tough on stains and gentle on clothes. Cold Pal Lemon has a great lemon fragrance which brightens your clothes and gives that extra freshness that lasts all day long. Cold Pal Lemon, tough on stains, gentle on clothes, with extra freshness.
It's a new season with new beginnings and new hope, all for the same dream. It all starts now. The NRL Telstra Premiership. Let's go!
There's no courage without fear. And no victory without sacrifice. Through all the chaos and bedlam, there's a bond that binds each state together. The last breath. The last tackle. The last inch. The last second can deliver the impossible.
Well, Welcome back. In news overseas, Australia has reaffirmed its commitment to Fiji and the wider Pacific region, announcing new health funding and stronger climate action, while warning that regional unity and resilience are more critical than ever. During a visit to Suva Tuesday, Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong said the two nations are bound by a Vuvale partnership rooted in respect, trust and cooperation. Wong announced nearly $4 million in new funding to support Fiji's HIV response plan and the launch of a new clinical services plan aimed at strengthening Fiji's health system for decades to come. She also highlighted Australia's record $2.1 billion and aid commitment to the Pacific, climate initiatives including an 82% renewable energy target by 2030 and support for a joint COP31 bid with Pacific nations. Cryptocurrency trading is viewed as a younger person's pursuit, but a growing number of baby boomers are dabbling in Bitcoin. Australian retirees have traditionally invested in shares or property. Now, many are being lured by reports of crypto's bigger returns, but it's not without risk.
Terry and Justine Sanders may not look like your typical cryptocurrency investors, but the Brisbane retirees have made big gains from Bitcoin.
It's going to make a huge difference to our life. And also one of the other great joys, we were able to help our children and grandchildren.
A recent industry survey of 2,000 Australians found about a third own cryptocurrency, and baby boomers are the fastest growing demographic.
And most people of our age, we don't tell that we're doing crypto because the few we told, they thought we had absolute rocks in our heads.
Sidel Sierra coaches would-be investors, including Terry and Justine Sanders. She says a third of her clients are over the age of 60.
We're seeing a little bit of FOMO. They want in, they see, the gains, and if they've come from traditional markets, often the percent returns in crypto are quite extraordinary compared to traditional markets.
But with extraordinary growth comes extraordinary risk. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, and the Australian Federal Police say victims lost $170 million to crypto scams in 2023. A lack of cybersecurity literacy can make seniors vulnerable.
If they don't think that they have adequate balance in their superannuation or for retirement, then they might fall victim to scammers who are offering really high returns.
You might get lucky, but you might also lose a lot of money very fast.
Terry Sanders says there are steps you can take to protect your investment.
We felt pretty confident that the nasty guys couldn't get to us, whereas a lot of people have come to grief because they haven't taken proper precautions.
Taiwan's Deputy Foreign Minister, Francois Chi-Chung-Wu, has warned that China's growing influence in the Pacific is undermining democratic values and distorting regional relationships. Speaking to PAC News in Taipei, Wu said Taiwan wants to be treated as a normal member of the Pacific community and believes it has much to contribute, especially through its strengths in technology and economic development. Wu noted that while only 3 Pacific nations currently maintain formal diplomatic ties with Taiwan, support countries from countries like Australia and New Zealand. He also pointed to ongoing, though difficult, dialogue with the Solomon Islands following its switch in allegiance to Beijing. He emphasized that Taiwan, as a democracy, has both the experience and the resources to engage meaningfully with its Pacific partners. Australia's farming productivity rate is falling despite the nation's farmers' efficiency. The agriculture sector could lose its competitive edge as productivity slows down.
I think optimism is what you need, for sure.
There are few times in a year as hopeful as sowing.
And if you are ready, then there's plenty of reason to be optimistic. It's exciting, there's opportunity to say that the year could be great.
At Lilliput, near Rutherglen in Victoria's northeast, James Russell is planting wheat and canola. Australia-wide, farming is on track for one of its highest value years, but this fifth-generation farmer says the spoils won't come without risk.
Where my grandfather was farming, sort of where I got sort of a lot of my knowledge from, he often spoke about sort of the costings of things way back then. Sort of that $1 to make $2. That was the margin. You know, you put $1 in to make $2. Whereas now, what we're seeing on a net profit scale, we're sort of seeing $10 to make $11.
The cost of inputs such as seed, fertiliser, fuel, land and labour mean farmers like James rely on being paid well for their outputs. In this case, crops.
We are looking at around $1,400 a hectare gross margin to actually produce a crop nowadays. If we don't receive those higher outputs, we've got a big bill to fit at the end of the year.
It's the difference between what's going in and what's coming out of the farm business that shows why farm productivity really matters.
So we look at productivity in two ways. We kind of look at it in the sense of, well, how much more output are you getting from a given set of inputs, or are you getting more output from your already existing use?
But in a sign that the National Farmers Federation says should be ringing alarm bells, Australia's farm productivity rate is barely growing at all. The annual rate in the 80s and 90s was 2.2%. Today, it's closer to 0.5%.
And that's kind of put us back in terms of our relative to international competitors, where they're getting stronger productivity growth. Now, the thing with that is that despite them getting stronger productivity growth, they're starting from a lower base than we are.
Pacific Islands Forum Chair and Tongan Prime Minister Dr. Aisake Eke has reaffirmed Tonga's non-aligned foreign policy and commitment to regional cooperation as Pacific nations navigate shifting geopolitical dynamics and growing security concerns. Responding to a question about how Tonga plans to maintain its sovereignty and stability in a competitive strategic environment, Dr. Eke stressed a policy of openness and regional collaboration. Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong echoed the need for strong regional architecture in the face of global power competition. Pressed on whether Australia's strategic ambitions might overshadow Pacific priorities, Wong rejected the premise and stressed shared goals. She highlighted two Pacific-led initiatives, the Pacific Resilience Facility and the Pacific Policing Initiative, as examples of how regional ownership is driving security and development efforts. A small Gold Coast charity is paying for New Zealanders who are sleeping rough to fly back home for those who have exhausted all other avenues of repatriation, sometimes proving easier than finding shelter on the coast amid the housing crisis.
Sun, sand and surf. The Gold Coast's idyllic scenery has drawn tens of thousands of New Zealanders across the ditch. But for a small few, the reality of living here is far from paradise.
So I want a place to go to put my head, leave my stuff safe, go to work. No, I'm not freaking out.
In the midst of a housing crisis, some Kiwi citizens are sleeping rough in makeshift tent cities in public parks, regularly being moved along by council workers.
Probably to the next park and get kicked out, and the process just repeats itself.
The rents here are astronomical. Yes, there's work here, but you have to, in some ways still, know people.
Due to their visa status, the full suite of Australian government services aren't available. With limited options, this charity is using its emergency funding in rare cases to offer to pay for one-way tickets back to New Zealand.
It's easier for me to find money to get a ticket interstate or back to New Zealand in this case than it is to find accommodation here on the Gold Coast.
The New Zealand government says it is aware of the arrangements in place to support its citizens to voluntarily leave Australia and is encouraging them to reach out to the consulate in Sydney if they need help. Despite dire circumstances, for some, moving home isn't an option.
I haven't got the best family support back there. Everyone's floating in their own boat.
Miss Rose is urging people to think twice before making the move.
Do your research and have a backup plan.
Back home, the Business Coalition for Women and the International Finance Corporation, with the support of the Australian government, launched a compelling new video campaign aimed at empowering individuals within Papua New Guinean workplaces to actively address and take a stand against harassment through bystander intervention. Recognizing that a culture of respect and accountability is paramount for a thriving and safe work environment, this joint initiative underscores the crucial role every employee plays in fostering positive change. The video highlights the principles of bystander intervention, demonstrating practical and safe ways individuals can intervene when they witness or become aware of unacceptable behavior. And that ends our news segment. We'll have the sports news after the break.
Tell them shorty come get it in. Come grind on me, but me did it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell them who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell them who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Use Savetu Olsem condom and Wambla way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Tingim, use him condom long right pla way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This pla talk save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
We are the people, connected to our land and sea. Timeless and enduring, it has served past generations, sustains us today, and will support those of tomorrow. A testament to human ingenuity, it can be shaped into limitless forms. It reflects our humanity, strong yet vulnerable. It teaches us to endure challenges to fulfill our purpose. Past technologies inspire us to look inward for creativity and sustainable solutions for the future. It brings families together, fostering moments of connection over shared meals. Known and cherished worldwide, the clay pot is a universal symbol of life, resilience, and connection.
It was a shock because we learnt about witch trials. It's part of all our histories. And then I'm sent to PNG and they tell me, no, there's sorcery, accusation-related violence, women are tortured and killed. I was astonished.
It was not done like this before, in our time. We're torturing people and burning them and killing them.
This bill is a first step towards eliminating these vile and cowardly acts.
Tune into Scope this Sunday at 7 p.m. on TV WAN.
The young people to get involved, to get them away from drugs, get them away from drinking.
PNG filmmaker Richard Sargent encouraged young people to delve into movie making, and government readies Baya Medang Road for 50th anniversary visit on September 16. Watch these stories on Scope this Sunday at 7 p.m. on TVWAN.
Thanks for staying with us. Round 7 of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup promises to be an exciting weekend of rugby league action. In Lae, fans can look forward to another blockbuster featuring two top-ranked teams in first and third respectively, PRK Mandy Murks and Lae Snacks Tigers.
Round 7 of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup kicks off this Saturday with West New Britain Provincial Government Kimbe Cutters hosting Guest Resources Central Tabaris at Peter Hampers Oval. Cutters are desperately searching for their first win of the season. They will bring everything out to knock out the Central Tabaris. This matchup sets the stage for an intense battle as both teams aims to assert their dominance. Wampinga Mount Hagen Eagles host Moniplus and TDC Port Moresby Vipers in Meads. As two foundation clubs, both will bring their historical rivalry to the forefront, making a thrilling encounter. At the Santos National Football Stadium, PRK Gulf ISO take on Bintanga Goroka Lahanis. ISO will be looking to hold the momentum of the informed Goroka side who have been on a winning streak of late. This match is followed by East New Britain Egma Gurias and Croton Hela Wigmen in the main event. The Gurias, under rookie coach Wartovo Puara Jr., are still searching for form after a rocky start to the season. However, their recent narrow victory over the Vipers will provide a much-needed boost. The Wigmen, on the other hand, are in good form. Led by Captain Solomon Pokare, they are the favourites heading into this clash. In Lae, fans can look forward to another blockbuster featuring two top-ranked teams in first and third places respectively, PRK Mandy Murks and Lae Snacks Tigers. Tigers currently sit in third place. They take on the unpredictable Asila Wagi Tumbe, who recently delivered a stunning 30-0 victory over the reigning champions, Mount Hagen Eagles. Tumbe's new style of play could pose a significant challenge for the Lae boys. The main game, Murks with the wealth of experience will be tested against the Enga Mioks. This matchup is expected to be closely contested, with the Murks aiming to leverage their experience for a potential thrilling finish. Overall, Round 7 looks set to deliver thrilling rugby league actions as the competition ramps up with 12 rounds still to come. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
The Papua New Guinea Baseball Softball Confederation has named 17 athletes, 11 debutants and 6 capped players, along with 3 non-traveling reserves in the women's national softball team to represent PNG at the 2025 Mini Pacific Games in Palau. The list was made after thorough assessment and evaluation of athlete performance, attitude and fitness. The PNG BSC Selection Committee. It is now with the PNGO Justification Committee for review and final approval. Upon endorsement from the Jury's Justification Committee, the confirmed squad will travel to Palau this July to represent PNG in women's softball. The selection process commenced with a pool of 30 athletes who were shortlisted after taking part in the national championship held in Rabaul, East New Britain. 3 players withdrew for personal reasons, while 27 went on to compete in the Easter long weekend Moneyball tournament in April. This tournament provided the selection panel with valuable performance data and insight to make informed decisions. Cricket PNG has recognized its PNG Garamuts player as one of 3 finalists in the 2025 SP Sports Awards. Garamuts captain Gabba Frank has been shortlisted for the Junior Male Athlete of the Year award. It is a proud moment for Cricket PNG and a recognition of Frank's outstanding leadership and performance on the pitch.
Chairman of the Cricket PNG, Michael Harrison, recognizes that Frank Gaba has inspired many young cricketers across the country. Harrison said, being named as one of the 3 finalists in the category of Junior Male Athlete of the Year of the SP Sports Awards highlights Frank's hard work, talent and commitment to his development as a cricket player, to the team and the cricket community. He said young Frank was recently selected to the train-on squad for the senior PNG men's cricket team, the Barramundis. He was asked to go extra mile in the Barramundis colours, as he always does with the Garamoots. Frank is the current PNG Garamoots captain. He led the side to multiple international tournaments, including the recent ICC T20 World Cup qualifier in Japan. Harrison also expressed gratitude to the PNG Levels, the national women's cricket team. They have been named amongst finalists for the Team of the Year Award 2025. Harrison said, having both the PNG Levels names and Gaba Frank as finalist choices amongst 210 nominations is a significant accomplishment for Cricket PNG. The organization understands they must work hard and maintain their standard. Rex Litter, TVWAN Sports.
The KCK Rigorized Cup Rugby League competition is now down to its final 4 teams who will vie for the inaugural cup title and 300,000 kina cash prize money. The major semi-final is set to take place this weekend at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium.
After 3 legs of the KCK Rigorized Cup and the final 12 teams in the final playoffs, 4 teams remain. Monomutris Brothers, SS Dolphins, Morobe Pride and Talai Spartans. They will go head-to-head to determine who plays in the grand final and who competes for the 3rd place finish. All 4 teams featuring in the semi-finals have earned their place through competitive football. They are now in for the big dance and the games are expected to be top-notch. 3 of the 4 teams are Port Moresby based except for Morobe Pride. The Pride have travelled out from Lae. They won the leg 3 and have been a consistent threat in the 12-team playoff and have shown they'll have a better crack at winning the cup title. The Rigorized Cup winner also gets 200,000 kina. The runner-up is expected to walk home with 60,000 kina and a team that finishes 3rd pockets 40,000 kina. This competition has seen one of the biggest prize monies offered in any off-season rugby league competition in the country. This is the first KCK Rigorized Cup competition and is only held in Port Moresby. The tournament organizers plan to spread the competition to other centres. Rex Litter, TVWAN Sports.
Max King is one of the few Origin players to bring their own Bible into camp. But the deeply religious Blues rookie admits career-threatening injuries and illness tested his faith. The selection of King is a reward for perseverance and never giving up. King believes this is a God-given opportunity.
The 28-year-old Origin debutant Max King endured more than 18 months on the sideline after rupturing an Achilles while playing for the Storm in 2020. Post-surgery, complications left him contemplating medical retirement until the Bulldog offered him a lifeline in 2022. King joined the Bulldogs under Trent Barrett in round 1 of the 2022 season. He has played 76 NRL matches for Canterbury Bulldogs and established himself as a regular starting front rower. Now, he has been rewarded with the State of Origin call-up. But before his meteoric rise, King reflects on his career and in injury, his struggle on the road to recovery, and how God helped him to the biggest stage of his rugby league career. King said he had been in a dark place for 18 months, fearing his rugby league career would come to an end. When he wrestled with injury for that period, and it really tested his Christian faith. The Blues debutant said he was out injured, off contract, had no club, and didn't know what he was doing. He is grateful now he has a club and will make his Origin debut. King said when he was selected by the New South Wales Blues, he first packed his Bible, then his plain boots and clothes and joined the camp on Monday. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
That ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Southern, Port Moresby, cloudy periods with some possible rain showers and thunderstorms. Daru, squally rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Momase, Lae, cloudy with some evening rain showers. Medang, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Kokopo, Rabaul, cloudy periods with few rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Buka, partly cloudy with few showers. Highlands, Mount Hagen, few showers. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with frequent heavy showers and possible thunderstorms. Coral Sea, seas moderate to rough with southeast to easterly winds of 15 to 25 knots, reaching 33 knots. Solomon Sea, seas light with easterly to northeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas light with easterly to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas smooth with northeast to easterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island to Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point, and waters of Hood Point to Samari Island to Cape Bogle, and all Milne Bay Islands seas 1 to 2 meters rising to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters of Fincher Fen through Vitia Strait to CSC Island to Dampier Strait to Long Island seas 1 to 2 meters. And waters of Long Island to Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. That ends this edition of TV1 News. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
Hurry PNG and enter today to